Every time one of you asks a question here, I answer it during the live stream. As a teacher, I believe there are no bad questions. So after the live stream is over, I create a video where I answer that question again, maybe with a moment to think about it, in 60 seconds or less, and upload it to my Slots Q&A library. I've uploaded them daily for almost 6 months. It's something like 158 as of today, and I've got another 10 that are waiting to be uploaded daily, and I'll be doing that forever. So that's my Slots Q&A library. But I also upload my Slots Q&A video shorts to my TikTok account, and one of them has one of those videos on TikTok has 1.6 million views. A lot of you actually come from TikTok, have done the work to find out who's this Professor Slots. They see the logo and they're like, what is that? And so they type it in and they go to my website and to YouTube and they find me. I was just talking to, I won't mention his name, had a couple consultations. He's in Las Vegas, I think, still today. And he called me from there, and we're taking care of him. I'm taking care of him. So, a lot of you are from TikTok. Given that interest in that one video with 1.6 million views, I invited them to my live stream today to expand on that 31-second question. Here that question is. Lady D asks, when do you decide to play beyond 5 spins? Sometimes I just want to stay. And of course, I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. Hello to you watching this this recording on YouTube, Twitter, my Facebook profile page, or listening later to the audio on a podcast episode. Thank you for being here, and be sure to subscribe or follow for notifications so you can have your questions answered next time I do one of these. But either way, stick around, and I'm sure it will be of value to you, even if you are watching this after the fact. But those of you who are here live, thank you so much. And a special thanks to my moderators for helping out with today's live stream. Thank you, Steve, for thanking the other monitors as well. And if you have a question, make sure you use #question. I'll put a banner across the bottom of the screen. Maybe you can see it unless you're on a phone, in which case it's pretty small. But if you have a question, use #question. That's so that we can be sure to spot your question to me instead of comments in the live chat to each other. After all, this is also a community video where friends check in with lots of comments to one another, which is great. So please, if you have a question for me, start your comment with #question. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Professor Slots live stream. You know how you put a lot of time and energy into your slots play for not nearly enough wins? Yeah, I get it. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you change that. If you're trying to accelerate your slots momentum, become more profitable, and win more than ever before, today's live stream will help you move forward with confidence. I have over a decade of experience working with slots enthusiasts just like you, so you're in the right place. Hello, slots enthusiasts. It's great to hang out with you again for another Professor Slots live stream. I do these every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday at noon Eastern to help you improve your slots performance, lead with your winnings, and ultimately change your life for the better. And hopefully I'm going to change your life a little bit today for the better so you can visit your casino and play slots smarter. And sometimes the best way we can do that to change slots enthusiasts' lives for the better is when they enter a business relationship with us. They become a client. They buy our online course. They get my free content. They start getting coaching from us, whatever the case may be, because you have ways to take advantage of your casino, which allows you to impact how much you win and then leave with your winnings. I'm your host, Dr. John Friedel, but please call me John. Improve your slots performance and keep up with the slides. Write #question for before your comment so I can spot it with all the other stuff that's going on. Awesome. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership. Meeting is tonight, guys, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. If you're new, How these live streams work is I pick a slots topic, usually inspired by your questions from prior live streams, comments on Twitter or Facebook, TikTok, from emails I receive from fans, or from weekly discussions in my Slots IQ membership group. Each live stream, I talk about that slots related topic for about 20 minutes, then take your questions for the next hour and 40 minutes or until we run out of questions. I hit a hard deadline at 2 hours, which is when my voice gives out. So I'll get to your questions as soon as I cover today's topic, but start asking them now. It's a free service. Not everybody does that, but it's a free service here, and I'll get to as many of your questions as I can as soon as possible. But first, today's topic. I just want to say hello to everybody. Hi, Camilla. Welcome Back in Black, and thank you, moderators, Paula and Maggie. I think it's been a while. Hi, Maggie. Cheryl. Good to see you. Minka. Minka is in the house. Yeah, it is cold all over. It's incredibly sunny. I tried to block some of the light because it's just 40, 3 degrees. I think it's close to the high. It might get a high of 50 today, but it was like 20 last night, Fahrenheit for those people who are not in the United States. And it is cold out. Yeah, the winter coat. I've been buying a few things. My winter coat arrives tomorrow. Oops. So for today's topic, let's proceed. Yes. Paula says I got more snow in Reno than she has in Lower Michigan. I'm from Lower Michigan, and that's it. Okay, it's only been a month. My 5-spin strategy video has gotten 948,000 views. My older video on my 5-spin method, which I updated because Slots Enthusiasts asked lots of good questions, has gotten 433,000 views. So that's a combined total of nearly 1.4 million views. I'm still astonished by that. I mentioned these views to help you understand the reason for this question getting 1.6 million views on TikTok. But maybe you're not one of those 3 million people. What is the 5-spin method? Well, too briefly, make 5 bets on a slot machine at your casino, but if you win anything at all, stop and move to the next machine. Too brief. As the users of my 5-spin method know, I've left out so much from that explanation. How to test to see if your casino gives out, see if your casino gives out taste, how that's separate from checking if you get a profitable return, how to improve your return by switching from any slot machine in your casino to only highly visible machines and only using it when everybody else in the casino is abruptly winning, and so much more. So my 5-spin method has features I didn't tell you about, which are hidden in plain sight. Why? Because you learn better if I don't tell you. It has a built-in loss limit. And not only that bankroll money management technique, but another one called preserving gains. Here, I'll provide the list. Oops. Where are you at? I missed one. Yes, so I'm new to slides. I'm not new to slides. I'm new to slides on Facebook. It looks like I missed one. Or the system messed up. So there is so much that is seemingly simple about this strategy that I could go into for an hour, and in the past I have. But we're here to discuss Lady D's question. When do you decide to play beyond 5? When do you decide to play beyond 5 spins? Sometimes I just like to stay. So there you are, perhaps the first time in your casino to see if it gives out taste by making minimum bets on at least 10 out of 20 slot machines. Or maybe you're long since known your casino gives out tastes and are using the 5-spin method again to play high limit slots for fun and profit. Whether you are a newbie or an advanced user of my 5-spin method, sometimes you sit down at a slot machine and you just don't want to get up and move to the next machine. There's a couple of reasons for this. First, we all have slot machines that we are fond of. If you're watching this live stream later or in the live chat now, comment and let us know what your favorite slot machine is. We'd be interested in hearing that. I have, and you're probably going to get a lot of people saying, I agree, I disagree, this and that, because, it's the internet. So I have fond memories myself. While you answer that question, what is your favorite slot machine? I have fond memories myself of Wheel of Fortune machines, on which I won something like 50 hand pays in 6 weeks when I first started playing high limit in the high limit room at the downtown Cincinnati casino. And I got 7-star status in those 6 weeks too. But I understand that all those wins weren't because I had some kind of lucky cosmic connection to Wheel of Fortune machines, such that anywhere I went, I'd win on them. No, not even on the Wheel of Fortune slot machine next to the slot machine I was winning on at the downtown Cincinnati casino. Not to mention at Atlantis Casino yesterday when I went. I was there yesterday video recording. I can video record now. I got permission. I was there yesterday video recording a demonstration of this 5-spin strategy, which I'll upload later this week. But I walked by and with great fondness gazed at a Wheel of Fortune machine with a wide bench and a huge display, which is red flags both, taking up the space of 3 normal size slot machines. That's 3 red flags right there, which we've discussed in the past. And well, shoot, I still haven't adjusted to 2 weeks ago getting permission from a casino to take pictures and record. If I had, I'd show you that Wheel of Fortune machine right now. But let's take a look at the comments and see which machines you're fond of most. Let's see, going through this. People saying hello, snow, yes. And Camilla says temperature and atmosphere are similar to Central South Akakan, where I live, semi-desert. Yeah, semi-desert. That's basically it. And Camilla says 5-spin method and collecting vouchers will be my beginning strategy. Sounds good. And Thomas, while cycling bankrolls, I found a bankroll cycling machine on a 10x points day. I went, I did end up losing $120, $200, but $80 in free play from a 10x point, but put about 10x addition. Long comments get truncated and split. I put about 15K through those machines in 12 hours. I don't know if that's dollars. In 12 hours, got $75 food credit and advanced an entire tier in one day. Wow, Caesar's Diamond Plus, good for you. How much better offers will come dollars? Is that a question right there towards the end? I'll get to questions after we discuss today's topic. I'll come back if I don't remind me. I'll try to spot it without the hashtag question. Let's see. Mark says, this is a question. Okay, good. Good. I don't see favorite slot machines, so we'll come back to these questions after we discuss this. So our topic today. Yeah. Yes. Let's see. So yes. So the first reason to pause or interrupt the 5-spin method is because we come across slot machines which we've become fond of which we've become fond. I don't want to end with a proposition. But the second reason is because of a hidden feature of the 5-spin method. Amongst all that's going on with my 5-spin method, it's a slot machine assessment tool. If you're testing for tastes by playing 20 machines, it is entirely possible that one of those machines will give you a huge win instead of a small one. That's when you ask yourself, should I stay? Because I want to stay. I do this all the time. In fact, I can't not do it. All advanced slots enthusiasts using my 5-spin method have recognized this useful slot machine assessment tool feature. When I talk with them, it's how I know that they are an advanced user. Sometimes it's a subconscious action, other times it's deliberate. Either way, when using this method, you're playing a lot of machines and finding one slot machine or two slot machines that gives out a big jackpot. And that's possible. That's what happened to me yesterday at Atlantis when I was recording my first demonstration of my 5-spin method. Sorry, no spoilers. Okay, so you got a bigger than usual win. What do? The next step will move you from being a newbie slots enthusiast on your ongoing slots journey. You must figure out if your win was just a lightning strike or if you found a slot machine set with higher than usual odds of winning. And this is where you start combining my strategies to win more often at slots. The strategy you want to switch to after pausing the 5-spin method is my tough love method. And I have that slide because my 5-spin method is also the beginning of the tough love approach. The tough love method says make 10 bets, and if you win anything at all, continue to 20 bets. Well, you've already made the less than 10 bets and gotten a win. So your next step on your slots journey is to make 20 total bets when according to the tough love approach, you then ask yourself the tough question: have I won enough so far that I should stay? Not, I have a good feeling that I might yet be a winner, so I'm willing to, put good money after bad, just on the odd off chance that it might start paying out. No. Not might you win if you bet more, but did you win already in those first 20 bets? If not, then walk away and unpause the 5-spin method. Go back to doing what works, and maybe you'll run across another candidate winning slot machine. It worked once already, right? But if you have enough winnings, if it was enough winnings, then make another 30 bets for 50 total bets and ask the same question: should I stay or should I go? If you decide to stay, make another 50 bets for 100 total bets and repeat. That's the tough love approach. Since the last live stream, Christine asked an excellent question. How much winning is enough to stay? What about winning enough to pay for making the next 30 or 50 bets? Isn't that an awesome question? It's the pay-as-you-go approach. When I sat down at Ameristar Riverboat Casino in Lake Charles, Missouri, with my moderator friend and Missouri to Reno driver, he collects titles, Chuck, last year to work out the details of the tough love method. We found a machine that paid out 2 bonus rounds, 2 separate bonuses within the first 10 bets. And I asked Chuck, should we stay or should we go? What would you have said? I thought stay, but Chuck said I would have preferred 3 bonus rounds, not just 2. And so we left. We moved. How much winning will convince you to stay is up to you. Maybe you'll follow Christine's advice and take the pay before I stay longer approach. Or perhaps you have something more like Chuck's style of play, which is more like pay me more than I'll spend if I decide to stay approach. It's entirely up to you. And as I tell my students, I don't care what your plan is. I care you have a plan. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. It's my online course. You'll also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. I have a special announcement to make towards the end of the live stream. I'll save it for then, however, and we'll get to the Q&A now. So it's been almost exactly 20 minutes. I'm going to take a drink of water because my throat's sore. Nevada casinos allow smoking. Ohio casinos, where I moved from, does not. And I'm like, wow, I got to get used to that. questions. I think Thomas had a question at the end of all his, but I'll get to that in just a moment. Question from Mark. After a hand pay, is it best to cash out the voucher, wait a moment, put cash in, and see if the machine will pay another jackpot? That's what I always do. It's the same thing as, I took this and I used it as a strategy. Okay, I used the 5-spin method to do exactly this. I got the first win that you're talking about because that's what I was trying to find. But if you just walk across a win, you have several options. One thing you can do. I mean, they're all basically documented as my strategies. You can find them, and we'll do this. Yes, and so if you go, maybe you can see my mouse, professorslots.com. Maybe you can see my mouse. There's 4 categories right here under Learn to Win at Slot Machines. I'm going to press the one called Strategies. And it's going to be all my articles, which are strategies. And this is the tough love approach we were just talking about. If you're in the state of Washington, this is their unique slots, Friday observations, and then basically it goes through my methods. And so I think you're asked, what I wanted to tell you about was there's deja vu method, and that would be, I think, the next page. Yes, the deja vu method. So you can, you have 2 options that would be there for you. So I'll just point this out. I won't open it. It would just, you can take a look yourself. And that's how you find it. So when you win a jackpot, you have 2 options. One is maybe it's going to be a winner. Maybe you should use the tough love approach and make 10 bets and see if it's not a lightning strike, but a win. Now, one of the things I tell people is you should know in advance. You should have a plan. You should have 3 plans. You go to the casino, and what is it that you're doing? What's the plan? That's everybody has that. I'm just going to go and spend the money, or I'm just going to go and I'm going to make this, this, that, the other thing. I'm going to do this. What are you going to do? It wasn't like you suddenly found yourself in a casino. You're there to do something. That's plan number 1. Plan number 2 is what happens if you win a hand pay, or under a hand pay, just over a hand pay. What if you win $1,000? What's the plan? Think about it now. If you think about it now, well, it's going to be really exciting later. So maybe later on, you won't necessarily do your best thinking. And maybe if you just think about it now, you will. And then later, all you have to do is remember it. And then I tell people to have a 3rd plan. What happens if it's just a bonkers win? I'm not talking about minimum $10 million on the Megabucks machine. I'm talking, what if it's $10,000 instead of $1,000 would have been exciting, and instead it's $10,000. You won the major, you won the grand. What do you do? And on that case, it's actually pretty simple. Get out, and with your money if you can. The second plan, I like to tell people how much you're going to put in your pocket, what you brought with you to the casino, maybe double what you brought to the casino, put it in your pocket to take home. Maybe you'll say, I'm going to take $100 of it, and I'm just going to make 10 spins at, $8 each on a penny machine, $10 each on a penny machine, and see if it's a machine that's a winner. Now, that's one thing. The other thing is you can come back a week later. Although if you won today, I wouldn't come back a week from today, because a week from today is Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is special, where this Thursday today is not. So the casinos know next Thursday will be special, and they're going to mix things up because it is Thanksgiving. So today, tomorrow, this Thursday, tomorrow, Friday, 1 week later, you probably want to skip this next week because we have holidays coming up. But, for the next 4 or 5 weeks, at that time on that machine, on that day of the week, check. check to see if the casinos, this is not being lucky. This and Joey was telling me all about doing this, and he went in when he had his win a week before and used the deja vu method, and the casino had tightened up, but and people had been playing it, and then he went up at his time period, waited, played, and he won a hand pay. And the casino employees, and this is I say sometimes you want to avoid this. The casino employees were like, it's like he knew, and it did. Yeah. So you can come back a week later. You can test it to see if it's not just lightning strike, but a machine set to win. And either way, you might get several more hand pays. Not necessarily the same amount, but the same. You got to win. Yeah, could be more, could be less. And that's a couple approaches there. So I'm really getting away from, explaining my slot strategies. I tell people learn each well. Learn the first one well, learn the second one well, get it down. And then before you know it, without even realizing it, you'll start combining them, those that combine well. You'll just naturally combine them. And so I do that when I talk to you. I'm sorry if you're a newbie, but I'm throwing you in the deep end of the pool. Learn my strategy. And then why would you ever not use the other ones to improve your win? You got to win, but everybody's like, okay, so I have several methods which I win with. Which one do I win more with? When I have several casinos to go to, I win at both. But which casino do I win more at? And I've had accountants who are going through my gambling records. I provide templates, and they were like, "You mean I can sort them by casino?" And I'm like, "You should." And they're like, "I never even thought of that." And I'm like, "Well, you're an accountant. I think you would have." But, oh well, okay, And they're just like mind blown, and which is what the paid consultations are like. I try to limit the sort of the mind blowing stuff to like half a dozen per call. Yeah. Otherwise, it just gets to be a little bit too much. They're tired, and so I think that. I think I understand Thomas's question there at the end of his 3 comments. He wrote a long comment, and it got added, split into 200 character sections. And sorry, I don't mean to get all technical. I think the last part of this is how much better offers will come dollar-wise because of all the money that he had spent. It depends. If you spent money, well, whether or not you spend money, you will get the offers that are listed as due you according to the monthly bulletin that you get for being a higher level tier in Caesars Rewards. I'd get those once a month. Wouldn't want to miss it. It has all the coupons. Back then they had I asked for a physical copy and they sent it to me, and it wasn't in the email. Now Caesars Rewards is owned by Eldorado, and Eldorado took the Caesars name, but it's still a different company. So however, I'm not top tier there anymore. I'm going from casino to casino to casino and not focusing on one. And although as much as I enjoyed being 7 stars, that was and as much as my friends enjoyed my being 7 stars, when are you flying me into Las Vegas again and giving me a room? I'm like, but I was happy to do that for my sister. She just enjoyed all that, the cruises and stuff and such. But if you are spending a lot of money, or if you're in a tier and you were to not gamble, but you're in the tier, then you will get sort of the baseline comps. What's kind of, I'll say what's owed you. Okay. But then if you spend money, then you can get more. But what's happening is it used to be you could go talk to a host and someone behind the counter, and used to be able to physically coerce them into giving you stuff, but because people, some people get really nasty about this and are trying to just get some stuff from the casino. So the casino said, fine, okay, we're going to get kiosks, talk to the machine, and the machine will check to see if you are going to get a free buffet or not. Easy calculation. It's just math, and there's nobody to argue with. And so so what you might find is spending is great. You'll get all kinds of offers, except if you win more than you spend, then you won't, because they calculate that now. I remember, 5 years ago, I was winning $30,000 a year profit from slots, and I was getting all kinds of 7 stars, this, that, the other thing. We used to call it my $10,000 chip dip tray. But then, I went to Foxwoods in 2018. That was like 4 years ago. And I won a $4,500 hand pay, and they wouldn't even pay for my room. I'd spent $3,000, but I'd made a profit of $1,500. And so they were like, no, you're not going to give it to you. So that's kind of what happens at most casinos now. They keep track, where before that wasn't so much. Yeah. Favorites. Danny, if you like all slot machines, then you don't have a favorite. Do you have a favorite child? Don't tell them. Don't tell her or him. Phone tag, twin win. Twin win. There's a nice twin win at MGM Grand Detroit in the high limit room, but it's a $2 machine, so it's not really high limit, but it's in the high limit room, and that's the one that was give out 2 hand pays in the 15 minutes I was in the room, and nobody else got a hand pay. If you see the twin win, it was a twin win 2. I think it was. Frog Prince, Texas T. Okay, thank you for saying that. That was not a question, just giving credit for your previous mentions of bankroll cycling. Yep. Okay, Thomas. I played 15K out of $600 over and over again at that machine. 15K points. Yeah, I have sat down on a machine in a week and gotten 40,000 points. And I went to top tier from nothing. I had maybe 1,000 points, maybe from the prior 6 visits that year. And it's, what was it? 150,000 points was needed to get to top tier, the 7 stars. And I got that in 6 weeks. I was doing like, each week was like, some of the better weeks was like 40,000 points. And I was making a profit. Yeah, it just like, and yeah. Yeah. Oh, Cheryl's, I mean, wow, people are just listing them. Cheryl says, Wild Gems, Super Jackpot, and Open the Vault. Okay, these are our favorites where we stop and play. Yep, that's another strategy that we've been talking about here. Switching up the bet or denomination, switching up the bet and cycling through the denominations. I think some people are saying it's progressive betting, but it gets to be like a little confusing because people think you're talking about progressive slots. But so yeah. Yes, Camilla, I got to change my habits. I have to wear a mask because it cuts it back, and it's so much more pleasant. But then, and earphones in, and that was halfway through my visit, and I was like, oh yeah, I was going to do that. I have to kind of get into that habit. And then when I got home, my chair smells like smoke because I sat down and worked for a couple hours, and then I went, oh, that's right, I was going to put all my clothes in a bag and take a shower. I forgot. And now today I'm like, I can smell it on the microphone. Smoking. Awesome. Question from Flip. Hey, Flip. Good to see you. Used deja vu strategy twice this morning. First machine, I impatiently hand stopped and doubled what I put in. The second machine, I didn't hand stop and got a hand pay. Should I hard stop? Honestly, I don't know. I never do anything else. I mean, in the video that I recorded yesterday at Atlantis, I actually let something play out because I was like, you know, on this machine, it's kind of confusing. And I was like, if I press the button, will it stop or will it make a second bet? And I was like, I want to make sure the video is correct. So I let it play out. But that's like rare for me. Bet, stop, bet, stop, bet, stop. That's what I do. So to answer your question, I would have to have not stopped half the time. All those times I got hand pays, all I ever did was stop. And so I don't know if I would have gotten the same number of hand pays if I hadn't stopped. Anybody have anybody want to offer, anybody in the live chat want to share whether or not they also stop the roll up half the time and then keep it going half the time and play machines where they get hand pays? And if there's somebody in the live chat who can help flip out, I got plenty of hand pays just immediately stopping. If you want to take that as advice, go ahead. Camilla says, related to flips, please explain what hard stop means. We did. Some people call when you press the bet button and then before everything stops, you press it again and everything halts. It goes to the final number. If you're on a physical real machine, it doesn't play. It just goes right to it immediately, done. And on video machines, it looks like there's a reel going by, but it's just a video display, and so they just switch it to what it would be would be at the end. The sounds and lights that go on, sometimes it's called a roll up, particularly if you win. You can also press the button again when you win, so it doesn't go ding 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 for some of the hand pays I had. It would have been like half an hour. And so I would stop those to not draw attention to myself. Some people, there's terminology that would use hard stop is one of them. There's another one called rapid fire, where you bet quickly, but you stop it. So you bet, stop, bet, stop, bet, stop. And so some people call that rapid fire. And that's a couple of terminologies. I have a website that just talks about the general terms. If you're new, my website has a lot of how-to and learning, and some of them are just basics to go through, make sure we all understand the words that we're using. Yeah. And Jan says, I'm here. Well, welcome, Jan. Welcome, my moderator. Yay. As Paula says, yay. Welcome, Texas Tootsie. BW says, if you do 5 spins on one machine, then cash out, remove your card and put your card back in and money right back in and start again, are the odds on the machine refreshed? Thank you so much. So this is called a reset. And the reset, resets are stackable. So I'm just going to give you the answer and you can think about it. The resets are stackable. So yes, you take your card out and you take your card out and you take your money out, you wait 30 seconds or 15 seconds or whatever, put it back in, that's a reset. But if you wait 10 minutes, that's another reset on top of the previous reset. And if you wait an hour and 20 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, come back the next day, all those are stacked resets. Now, maybe somebody plays it in the meantime, in which case they use the reset. So one of the things I want to demonstrate, and 2 things I want to do with this, which is try it. I am now in Nevada. All casinos have tastes. All casinos have the 5-spin method. Whether or not you make a profit depends on the time of day. Okay. So back in my home state, there was the casino that was an hour away. And that's a distance for Uber. And they still had a little bit of the 5-spin method. They turned it down from the great days of yore when they first opened, and every bet in the high limit room was a hand pay. And after about 18 months, it reduced to $500, but it was still profitable, paid for the gas. But they reduced it. So I had like one casino near me that I could go to, knowing they had the 5-spin method. But I didn't get to it before I moved here a month ago to Reno to find, I needed a casino that had the 5-stream method. And now I've got 11 in Reno, and I got an easy flight to Las Vegas with 40 on the Las Vegas Strip and then 160. It's just a lot. And so I'm looking forward to not only answering this question definitively, uh, but to say, okay, go. I'm going to go right over there. You can't quite see it. There's the tower of Atlantis, and not only do it, but record the results for you. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I need to do now that I can record. Demonstration. Yeah. um, yes. Oh, yes. That's a good point. So I'll mention where you can find my course, but also please like this video because it is a way for the YouTube algorithm to direct people here who might otherwise be. Yes, Juan. Hi, Juan. Good to see you again. Is it better to wait until? Oh, yes, until after Thanksgiving, 7 a.m. 25 to play, or better wait 2 days. Okay, so we've got a busy time coming. Okay, last year, did you go to the casino? If you don't remember, check your notes. You take notes, right? The Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving last year, I will remember for you. You were all like shocked on that Saturday. What the heck was that? That was awesome. So the morning after a holiday is my strategy that I talk about. One of the strategies I talk about. The morning after I call it an almost holiday. I'm thinking about changing it to celebration, which is a little bit different for promotions. The difference is holidays are national, sometimes international. And so everybody has that. But if they're giving away a car at your casino, that's just your casino, probably. And so I'm calling them celebrations now. The morning after Thanksgiving should be pretty busy, but it's going to be Black Friday, so that will be busy too. So the morning after Black Friday, well, Saturday is what is it? Small Business Saturday, I think they call it, and then Sunday. I don't know. There's a bunch of these names, but I don't know the one for that Saturday. But then Monday is Cyber Monday. So we've got a whole series of days coming up, which the morning after would be great. All you need to do is go to your casino and watch between 4 and 6 a.m. Just ask Flip, just 4 and 6 a.m. See if anybody, you don't have to spend money, you just see if anybody else is winning. Big, unexpectedly, they're shocked. And then you go, okay, casino has it. Or you go in between 4 and 6, not the whole time, for 10 minutes in that time frame, and just see, bet your usual. The jackpot will find you. And bet your usual during that time frame. You might have to go 3 times, but that would be like Thursday morning, Friday morning, Saturday morning. Or rather, there's Friday morning, Saturday morning, and maybe, Sunday morning too. But you got 2 out of the 3 knocked out right then. Maybe you have to wait for Christmas for the next one. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, day after Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and all of that. Be careful of January 2nd because it's a new year and it's a different financial situation. And yeah, so watch out for that. So yes, you have opportunities to learn to see if your casino does this. If you haven't already gone to your casino on 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day, and sorted it out, then we got a bunch of holidays coming up where you can learn what your casino does or the next one over. I have 11, I have to figure out what I'm going to do. 11 casinos, new to me casinos in Reno. Do I get 11 Ubers starting at 4 o'clock? Atlantis, Peppermill, Silver Legacy, On the Row, Gut Nugget out in Sparks. How many can I get to in half an hour? And what if I win, which means I'm going to have to wait 20 minutes for a hand pay? So I'm trying to take, if you're new to your area, wherever you live, and you're like, you can't do too much. I'll split it between, if I can, Thanksgiving, and I'm still waiting for my house to close. So funds are a little bit low, and a lot of money sunk into that. And so I'll split it between Thanksgiving and uh, Christmas, or maybe Christmas and New Year's, so I can know what's the case in Reno casinos. Yeah, I doubt I'll get to the 40 casinos on the Las Vegas Strip. It's just a lot to do, and I figured give myself time. Jan, Texas Tootsie, says the twin win in Kashada's high limit room pays and pays and pays. And that's documented. Yeah. Cameron says, hello, any advice for a newbie with $100 going to the slots without watching any of your previous strategy videos? Thank you. I think the easiest thing to do would be to, okay, so I could just tell you, but I wrote an article. Was it my last article or the one before it? So I will share that to give you a little bit to digest, and I'll be making a video about it soon. And it's called "Getting a Hand Pay Jackpot with a small $100 bankroll." And the basic idea here is that we should all be like you. We should all be like you. What we do is we waste $900, we get down to our last $100, and then we treat that last $100 like you treat your entire $100. So go and watch. Don't spend your $100. Figure out how to win without your $100, and then when you know how to win, when you have clues and you figure stuff out, only then spend your $100, because your $100 is priceless. We should all be this careful as you, but we waste and waste and waste because, we take $1,000, we got $900 to waste before it really gets down to crunch time. If we're good, we might use that $900 to figure out which machine to play and use that last $100 to play the machine that we found to win. But you can actually watch other people play. And if they leave the machine, you can then take that machine and, use your $100 well. That's my general advice. If you want more details, you can go to my professorslots.com and read that article. And I go through step by step what your options are and understanding the perspective. People are going to be like, you can make $100 bet on a high limit $100 denomination machine, and that's it. And great if you win, but terrible if you don't. So yeah, what the heck? Right. Let's see. Question one. 3 months without winning even a small prize. Boots prizes $20 or less is the time to pause. So this could happen at any moment. For those of us that are winning for Flip, who's getting, I think last time he got 4 days and 5 hand pays, or was it 15 hand pays? Everything could stop on a dime. It's not you, it's the casino. It will happen January 2nd for all of us. And so basically the casino marketing staff goes on vacation. And so the strategies that I've talked about that you're taking advantage of, it's like they're not even home, because they're not. And that could happen at your casino if, they decide to, if they finish remodeling, if they more along the lines of if they finish construction, because remodeling doesn't cost much, but putting up a new building does. And you don't know if they were sold. You only find out like 6 months later if they were sold, unless you get a hand pay, in which case it says on the tax form, oh, look at that, it's a new company, and you won't find it anywhere else unless you read the financial reports, maybe. So yeah, something happened, and we would love to keep playing, we'd love to keep winning, but when everything else, then we have to not give it all back. And that's hard. Yeah. And Steve wishes us a Santa Claus jackpot in the next few weeks. Okay, good. In Texas Tootsie, Jan says, "I hard stop all the time. I'm impatient." Well, I just wanted. I'm playing when the machine is set to win, and I'm like, it's going to be over fast. I want to get as many bets in as possible. People used to sit next to me and say, "You get a lot of spins on the Wheel of Fortune machines," and I'm like, "Yeah." But minimum $20, and it's only like 1 out of 30 of getting the spin that it actually lands on a hand pay in the high limit room instead of $100 or 120 bucks. So yeah, I hard stop all the time. But if you do, if you want to continue to play, this is a loss limit to just let it play out. Yeah. Question. I was told the 9-reel slot machines hit frequently at WinStar using the first 5 minutes of every quarter of the hour. I played them twice and got decent hits. Thoughts? So this is a advanced question, which is completely fair. And what's going on here is that there's a casino server. It is setting the odds because the casinos decided to get rid of slot techs because they're expensive. Payroll is expensive. Benefits is expensive. Get a machine. Wire them all up. They could not wait to get them. I never saw a faster rollout on a technology than 2012. The first central server came out, and then it was like 18 months, a year and a half later, and every casino in the country had them. It's like, we're losing money if we don't have it. Let's get it as soon as possible, as fast as they can get it in and install it. And so, but that central server has become somebody who's programming it. And so when I hear slot techs or people who say, I've worked at a casino, they don't say if they worked in cleaning bathrooms or, if they're a casino executive, but I'm pretty sure even the ones that say they're casino executives aren't, because the casino executives are not allowed to tell us that they're casino executives on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Anyway, these central servers have an algorithm which is programmed, and the person who programmed it is usually somebody back at the slot machine manufacturer, because that's where these come from. The bigger casinos have their own internal department, like the Caesars, the MGMs, but not like Boyd Gaming, which only has like 7 casinos. So the few top tier casinos, corporations, will have internal resources to do this. Otherwise, you hire it out, you consult it out with the programmer at a slot machine manufacturer where they got it from. Okay, so with that background, a person programs the machine. And you know what? Oh, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock, not 12:52. Humans like to use on the hour, on the half hour, maybe on the quarter hour. But we don't like, 12:52, we're gonna the usual time, 12:52, we're gonna change everything. No. What you're seeing is the person programming, because it's easy to choose the quarter hour. It might even be written into the program as select a time, and it isn't by the minute. It's like choose between 1:15, 1:30, 1:45, or 2. And that's just how the program was written, because we don't think twice about, as humans, using quarter hours and half hours and on the hour. Yeah, absolutely. What you're seeing is quite feasible. Let's see. Okay, Flip has another question. What method of money transfer would you recommend to minimize fees when providing you donations? There are. Thank you for saying so. I do like the encouragement that is offered by showing everybody your win. But if you have Zelle, ZELLE, or if you use what's called the Cash App, both those are fee-less. I also have a PayPal donation page, but that again, it has a fraction of what YouTube takes. Your last donation, I looked at my revenue report and I was like, wow, they took a chunk out of that. They didn't take half, and I think they took like I got $130 out of for your $200 donation. So ouch. And so PayPal would be less if you have that. The Cash App, ZELL, if your bank has that. A Cash App, it's at Professor Slots. That's if you don't have the app, you can get it fairly easily and connect, and that would be great. Thank you. Other people here do that. Frenzy does that. Pete says, thank you for asking. Pete says, will the 5-spin method work with a Players Club free play? It's half and half. It depends on what the casino wants to do. Some casinos have realized that free play is not money and that the legal requirements that they work under with the gaming regs doesn't apply to not money. It only applies to money. If you get free play, if it's a mail flyer or if it's an email, whichever, look at the bottom in the fine print. It will say no cash value. So, don't count it as income on your taxes for one thing, just to take it, mention that, but it's not money. Now, the casinos that have chosen to treat it like free play, where the point was to send it to you to get you in the casino, that happened. They don't have to actually give you anything for the free play because they got what they wanted. You're there. Those casinos had to pay extra. Everything except for the major casinos, everything has to be purchased from the slot machine manufacturers who make all the equipment, all the servers, all the programs, all the other things. They have consultants and all that. And there are secondary vendors who support this, and some of the smaller casinos go that route. So they get it from elsewhere, or even they get it from the inside, and that costs money. To get that feature costs money, and they have to do. They're cheap. If you want to know anything about casinos, understand they're cheap, and they don't want to spend a dime they don't have to. And if they do spend a dime, they want $2, $3, $1.20, $3, $5, $10 for that dime that they spent. So they have to make sure that they're making money from doing this. So, but some casinos have decided to put that expensive service in place. So there's no reason to give you a 90% return on your free play. That's only for money. Yeah. I couldn't tell you if your casino has it or not. It's fairly easy to check. Put $20 in or $5 in cash, make minimum bets. How many times, try to find a machine that you would win on, and then take $5 in free play, put it in the same machine that was just winning for that $5 you just put in. See if you get the same result. If you don't, right, we've got some spam here, right? Okay, so okay, moderators, my live chat has kind of stuck. If you see a spammer, please remove them. Let's see. Juan says, what did I tell you? Casino's remodeling. So it's not rebuilding, putting in a building. So that means that it should be fairly quickly before they get back to paying out. And Danny's talking to Steve, and Juan's asking a question. Is good change the time of the day when you go to casinos? I don't know what you're asking. Is good change the time of the day when you go to the casino. And Danny says the best casinos in Nevada are in Reno, and that's what the return statistics say. It's like 5% higher, which is just like double backflip. 2.5% in better odds is like the difference between the worst odds for the average state return in Indiana and the average state return in Nevada, and then Reno is 5% better than the Strip. And it's just like, wow. Have I been audited by the IRS? I have. What was interesting about that audit was that they specifically asked me for my W-2Gs that I had gotten. That's all they wanted. They wanted my W-2Gs. And I thought about it, and I realized what happened was I wasn't the primary person that they were auditing. They were auditing the casino where I got the W-2Js, because the casino was supposed to send the IRS a copy, give me a copy, and keep a copy for their records. And apparently they didn't send my W-2G to the IRS themselves. So the IRS said, well, I see that you reported in your return that you got W-2Gs. We would love to have a copy of those so we can look up the code and we can really hammer the casino. And that was just like, wow. Glad I'm not in trouble. Okay, moving on. And that was my audit for gambling, for slots. It's amazing what you can kind of like, what was going on at the casino. I don't know. I don't want to say the name, although it's kind of obvious from my talking about where I bet. And I don't think I mentioned it in the book, but on Amazon and Learning to Win. But yeah, that was pretty. I was like that. I was a bystander for the IRS going after a casino. Yeah. Excellent. Oh yeah. Juan says 92% in the casino, but do remember, and as you know, that and I will share this. I do return statistic reports, return to player reports under reviews on professorslots.com, and I do alphabetically through all the states, and we can go to F for Miami. There's also new to me casino trip reviews mixed in with these reviews of returns, reviews of, and alphabetically moving through these. A lot of Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana casinos because I just moved from there. Shortly there will be Reno and Vegas, and when my house gets closed in a couple of weeks, hopefully, then I'll be able to head on out. So here is Florida slots return to player. You might say, well, Florida doesn't have returns. Actually, they do for the commercial casinos, as you noted in Miami, but also Fort Lauderdale. And there is here is the returns from the beginning of January. I'll make that larger in case you have a small screen. I went back to 2006 when it started, and that's kind of a mess. But let's look at up until, I think that was April of this year. I'm going through all of them, and then when I'll go back through, it'll be easier because I'll just add the last few months since I did it. This is all the casinos, all 8 casinos in the Miami-Dade and Broward counties. And this is up here is Magic City and Hialeah Park. And when people say to me, slot machines are random, and I look at them and I say, that's not random. What the decisions being made at Magic City and Hialeah Park are not the decisions being made at Isle Pompano for the last 3 years. Consistently, and so there's middle of the pack here with Calder being a little bit low. Why? If you knew this, I had to plot it myself, but it's available from the state, and I'm making this available as a service. If you look at this, why would you not go to Magic City and Hialeah Park. Right up there for years, 3 years, 2.5, 2 years, 2 months. And I don't know what it's been since April, but you can look it up yourself. Or you can have a consult from me and I'll be happy to break in at the, do that for you in advance of my scheduled time when I'm going to post this. It's just amazing to see that. So I hope you're taking advantage of it. And when you say Miami, Casino Miami, right? You may be saying the city, but you could also be saying Casino Miami, which is the gray line, and that's what this one. So it's kind of at the top of the pack, it's top of the middle section. So it's not the worst one. It maybe is kind of like trades off for third place occasionally, which is out of 8 isn't too bad. But there's daylight. There's daylight between those, the two above it. But at least it's not Isle Papeno. And I don't mean to be critical. I'm just, it's facts. It's just facts. It's the data. Yeah. Question, I participated in slots tournaments? I don't like slots tournaments. Yes, I've participated in them. Do I think it's worth it? It's something to do. I've gone to slots tournaments while they had me wait. I won big jackpots. So that was worth it, but it wasn't because of the slots tournament. And all I can do is just make bets as quickly as possible. And if they tell me where to sit, what time to play, when to start, when to stop, and there's nothing that I'm doing. A robot could do it. A monkey pushes a button. It's just, there's nothing I can do about it. So yeah. I participated in them. I found some reasons to be there at that time because, if you listen for people to win, that's one of my other strategies, casino environment, you listen for people to win, and then that's when you play. And then the rest of the time you try to find something to do, like, go to the buffet or play in the slots tournament. I've done it. I can't think of a reason it's worth it to do the slots tournament. I participated in a card giveaway, which wasn't a slot tournament, but I participated in a card giveaway a week ago Saturday. And at least when I've won a car at a casino, and at least when I did that, there was kind of like things I could do to improve my odds. And the way that they were structuring this, like I had to spin a wheel to land on a symbol. Turns out I know how to spin a wheel. I'm as an aerospace engineer, that's primarily what I did in the lab for like 20 years. And so I'm like, okay, I'll spin the wheel. Don't think about it, just do it. And I landed on the symbol for a Mercedes-Benz E350. And there was other aspects of that strategy in the of that card giveaway in the game rules, which I took advantage of. But then the one I went to on Saturday, it was just like, they just wanted me there. And there was nothing I could do to improve my odds. And, when they chose 4 people that were actually in the casino in the last little bit, before that it was all free play, they put 4 envelopes in front of them and said, pick one. It's not like the keys were in one and the other ones were flat because they had money. It was all flat, envelopes. And it's just like 1 in 4 chance. But, I had a 1 in 15 chance to land in 2 in 15 chance to land in the slot with the logo for the car when I won the car. And I felt like I had enough skill to be able to get on that side of the wheel by spinning it. And I felt I had enough control to be, to get on that half, which doubled my odds. And maybe if I'm really good, and I don't want to say that I am, but I'm pretty good. Maybe I was able to control it to the point where I could get in one quadrant, 1/4, and that doubled my odds one more time, plus all the other stuff that I was doing, and that's why I won a car. But on Saturday, I was just like, well, I guess I'll just wait. and there's nothing. That's what I don't like. Steve, that's what a central server, could the central server be set up to run in different sections at different times? It's individually collected, sent to each slot machine. That's how we know that, because we go to play highly visible machines, so that it's all programmed in. Yeah, different. I mean, it would be every slot machine. By saying different sections, you're saying like every machine in that section would be a winner, but that's not what happens. It would be one or two of those machines, not whole sections. You could have whole sections which were losers, but that's just because none of them were highly visible. Okay, hope that helps. Hashtag question from Oregon. Hi, Leslie from Oregon. I thought you said once that you hit the bet button, it was predetermined the result, so why stop? Am I misunderstanding you? Right. So if you press the bet button, everything is predetermined. So watching it play out, I mean, please enjoy yourself. But for me, I'm like, tell me what you decided as quickly as possible. Yeah, exactly. Bet. You're just putting on a show for me. For presentation purposes only is some of the language that they use. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Tell me. So I stop to get the results that was determined when I bet. A fraction of a second before that, not 5 seconds before that, not 10 seconds before that. I want to know. Yeah. Yeah. Juan says, I go to those casinos but have no luck. Thank you, Richard. I got a Cash App donation from Richard, and I will thank him. And that's how it works. I got a notification. Thank you, Richard. Much appreciated. Let's see. Okay. So improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. I'll make that this big. Okay. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free membership to my Slots IQ group, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit ProfessorSlots.com to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. Okay, I have an announcement to make. 2 announcements. One is, a week from today is Thanksgiving, and I will not be having a live stream during your family dinner. So enjoy Thanksgiving, everybody, please. The second thing is, I am going to be offering a new course. This is going to be the advanced course. This is going to be the people who have only for the people who have taken my course 30 days. It's going to be, and let me remove that note. Yes, it's going to be 20 people only. It's going to be 6 weeks of classes. It's going to be, thank you very much, Flip, for your donation. My phone buzzed. Thank you. Yep, it worked. It will be basically expertise, community, and results. This is going to be instructor-led. It's going to be group calls. It's going to be group coaching sessions, coaching sessions. If you are interested, then you need to go to my website at here. And to get on, the first group is going to be getting a discount because I need people to kind of like go through it to me and hash it out and see if Slots Labs is the best name for it, and etc. So if you go to ProfessorSlots.com and you go to Your Plan to Win up here in the corner, you see it? Your Plan to Win. These are my products, and I have consulting already, the course I was just telling you about, but I have Slots Labs under development. If you click this button, it will take you to a form here, which you need to fill out. It is no money down, just to be asked if you want to be in the course. If you're interested in the advanced next steps, this is where you need to have your name, because yes, eventually everybody will find out about it. But I need 20 people to take it first. And to them, I will ask for, lots of feedback. And how do you feel about this? Did I miss anything? Was this particularly good? How do we, should it be 7 weeks instead of 6 weeks, et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. And so I'll be asking questions. And for that, I'm giving them half off. That is Slots Labs. So that's it. What a great live stream. You'll see me on my next live stream on Saturday at noon Eastern, or in the Pacific time zone, 9 a.m. In the meantime, I highly recommend that you watch this video on the other hidden features of my 5-spin method to transition into an advanced player to win